You don't want none of this. Let me tell you straight up. You don't want none of this. I hope you're all doing good. This stream I dedicate to Laurie Marty. You know, you're not, it's going around that this time of year people aren't, you know, there are some tough situations people are having to deal with here. I want to bring up Laurie Marty's message and pass along well wishes here. Forgive me, I am a YouTube expert, but it is here, let me see my comments. And this is just, I'm just gonna read. There's certain things I won't read, but I want everybody to understand it's very important that you be kind to those people. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a lot of comments I haven't approved yet, but I will. Too good at this game, that's awesome. Thanks for the comments. There's a lot of comments coming in. I actually am impressed. I'm getting love kisses on my sleep stream. Lena Music says, love this game. How you doing, Lena Music? Christina Bolden, how you doing? Exclusive. Mark, there's more people, but why can't I see Laurie Marty's comment? Maybe it's a little further down here. Oh, I just had a bath and I'm really, really hot. You can't see, but I'm taking off my sweatpants. I have shorts underneath and you cannot see that either, huh? These sweatpants are from my wife for Christmas, huh? Whew, that's way better. Now I can breathe. Whew, they don't call them sweatpants for nothing, I'll tell you that. So I'm sorry, but I was actually trying to read Laurie Marty's comment. I'm going to go to my computer. Give me 1 second, because this is where I read it. Phones never have the same information that my PC has, and let me prove it right now. Alright. Comments are right here. Let me bring this laptop in the kitchen. And comments like these really get to my heart, so I like to make sure. And Laurie Marty, you've been watching me since the get-go. 3 years. You've been watching me over 3 years now, so I spent since I read your comment and I replied to it, asking you what your IG was, so I could maybe message with you back and forth. Just keep you close to me, put you under my wing for a duration until you're too happy and I gotta let you fly away again. But let's get you there. I'm not seeing the comment, which leads me to believe that I'm not doing something right here. Let me see here. No, the comment's gone. So she deleted it. Shoot. Or is it here? Like, why can't I see it? Might be scrolling too fast. Okay. Are you interested in joining the clan? You want to join my RuneScape? I think maybe the comment got deleted, which is totally her choice. Laurie Marty, I wanted to read it to be specific with, how to reply to you, and I wanted to do it genuinely on a live stream. I wasn't going to read it all, I was just going to read some of it. But I do not see it. I'm actually, no, there's no way. Something's going on here. So I read the comment on the phone that I'm live streaming on. So the old cell phone I have doesn't have that comment. Does that make sense? Comments. I click on comments. It says published. I don't remember. I think it was within the last day or 2 or 3 or 5 you sent that. I don't remember. I had woken up from a nap, and for whatever reason, I just went to my I went to the living room. It's gone. Huh. You know, and now I've spent so much time talking, I don't even really, I can remember what your comment was about. I'm not going to say the very sad part, but I wanted to, like, relate with you something that I've lost in my life. And, you know, I think about my boy every day. I had a Dalmatian for 17 years. No, I just don't see the comment, though. It's weird. So it's sad that you're going through a loss, but you're full of love and laughter. You know, there's something I can honestly say. There's very few people on YouTube that I've ever met that are as kind as, you know, the kind ones. And Laurie, you are one of the most genuine. So people with the biggest hearts always struggle the longest when going through the loss of a loved one. It's very hard for people. And you know, I consider myself to have a fairly decent sized heart, and it is hard for me. Like my puppy passed away like maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, roughly. I try not. I won't ever timestamp the day. It was the worst day ever, but you know, it happened a while back, and it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. So I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope you feel better soon. I'm glad you're still watching the show. You know, I try to do as many happy shows as possible, just to ensure that maybe I'm helping somebody who's, or not helping, but I'm giving somebody a good laugh who's in need of one. You know, there's a lot of good people on YouTube, and lots of people will always listen. So I suggest, you know, reaching out to some of the several good people that we know on YouTube and just saying, you know, cheer me up, you know, tell me a joke. I don't really know any jokes. I honestly don't really know any jokes, to be honest. If I did, I would start telling you jokes so fast. These are not the bags that I'm looking for. I'm getting really pissed off. I better find 3 bags right away with about 3 pounds in them, or I'm going to lose my cool. Because I know for a fact that I never got into certain types yet. And I'm really starting to get pissy. You know, we're talking about the finest in the world here. This is frustrating. This is frustrating. Because all 6 of these aren't the bags I'm looking for. And if somebody is mixing up my stuff, someone's gonna get something they wish they never got. Very frustrating. So I'm going to do an episode of okay, so super frustrated, but let's keep getting ourselves frustrated here. So what time is it? Yeah, I gotta let's put this here and let's start bouncing. Don't you feel like bouncing and have a good time? Yo, hey Hashi. Hey JC, how you doing? JC and the Snow Bear. Hope you're having a good day, JC. How's the vegan train going, Angel? Hope you're on that vegan train, something fierce. Man, I actually got a few things to bang out here, so I'll put this stuff here and let's start banging. I love banging. I know most of you probably wouldn't understand, but I've been banging since before '95, and we do a really good job. I can't even tell you. Well, nah. There's a reason why I won't say, because it gives out a good technique. So back in the day, 95, fall of 95, summer of 95, fall of 95, and then spring 96, we had quite the invention created here in Manitoba. One of a kind in the world, guaranteed in the world, but I'm going to reveal that invention to you on a live show this fall, because 2021, I'll show you what was created over 25 years ago. My God, that's a long time ago. 26 years ago. Man, I'm old. Wait till you see. You're not going to believe your eyes. And it's one of the greatest creations that I've ever seen or heard of. And it works really, really well. So look forward to that. That's huge. Huge. When you pick up the tech that I'm about to drop this fall. I haven't decided if I'm going to show you or if you're just going to get to see the outcome of the tech, which is probably that might happen. It might go that way. All right, next this, and wait to do that next. So my stick vac calved on me, so that sucks. My stick vac calved. That sucks. Okay. Don't you feel like dancing? Dancing all the time? Oh crap, you did it. Oh yeah, but we're doing this way. Like a sicko. Like a real sicko. This is it right here. Still the same outcome, right? Jeez. Yeah, she's such a hash master. Touch of a goof on the end of that too, I think. What could I have done? I think if I ran these papers that way, and then I wouldn't have to overlap. Well, at least I can recognize how to fix it. It's just an absolute about 3 inches there, 6 inches, maybe 7 inches of 7 or 8 inches, but we're talking about, we've got feet of screening area, so I think we're good. All right. Just doing a quick one anyway, but let's get a little dessert cap going for me, as I deserve it. So you don't really want this right there. I wish you guys could see, but trust me, if you know me, there's nothing more I wish than for you to be able to see through my eyes. There's a different way to do things, eh? It doesn't have to be my way. There's a different way to do things, I said. I didn't say do things my way. There's a different way to do things than the way you're doing. Or the way you think is a good way. It ain't. There's a different way. And it grabs more. It releases more, you know? I wish the people that I love the most on YouTube were my neighbors. That's what I wish. I wish that the nicest people lived by me, you know? I'm not saying that there aren't super nice people that don't live next door to me. I'm just saying they don't watch the show and they're not really into what I'm into. Oh, I saw a bean there. This stuff, I've never even seen a bean in this batch before. This was supposed to be a beanless batch. I mean, I guess I've seen a couple. I don't even think I've seen that. Like 2 years running this. This one anyway. Like, these aren't pollinated. Just flying everywhere. Oh yeah, and I don't watch football, or I'm not into Caesar's Palace. It's funny, they're so nonchalant, they say Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. That's crazy. Look up that Caesar's Palace was used to get you out of your home so they could invade your home and steal from you. Now I dare you to step foot near my property. Holy macaroni. Just wanted a little tasting on a complete container. Oh, there's a beaner. I said I saw a beaner. It's no good. It's definitely not from this batch. I put it in a few little twigs, and those twigs have little knobs on them with little buttons inside. And I know I saw a good beaner in here. There's only going to be one if there is, and it's not from whatever the majority is in here. It's not from that. It's one of the most stable varietals I may have ever seen in the entirely. There's a bunch, but this in the last couple of years I got a bunch of stable ones. Not a Hermie out of hundreds, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't even bang over there, so yeah. We didn't lose nothing in the slightest off of this. Finally being able to get to this stuff though. It's been so long time coming. Man, the terpenes are still there. But I waited a little bit too long, which is, it's fine. It just means you get it all. You get it all, plus you gotta clean it a little more. You get it all, which is the difference. And, oh, there was a bean. I know I saw one there. I never moved it. Oh, it's huge trikes, man. Huge calyxes. Very frustrating with some of these varietals to determine what a bean even is, you know. I got a lot of light. This is like the equivalent of a 565 watt HPS, you know. There's 4 there and 2 here, 6 times, well there, yeah, it's like at least 500 watt. 600 watt metal halide, probably equivalent. They're very intense though. I can see clear as day. Alright, stuff, alright. There, no, it's not a bean, so it's just a buds in there. Whoa. So I was gonna try a little bit of the VR poker, just like 20 minutes, and then plug it back in and charge it back. But because we're gonna play it after dinner, but we're not eating for a couple hours. But now that I think about it, I won't have. I guess I still do have time, but maybe I'll do it on part 2 of this because I believe I'm done. I believe that what we got here is gonna be perfect for the duration. But the type of feeling given is ultimate clarity. I call it ultimate clarity, you know? See, our minds are programmed to react, right? But I believe that with, you know, with any good thing, we can enhance it. And I believe this is one of the highest level of enhancements that a person can do to the human brain. I'd be living proof of that because I wasn't always, you know, I don't want to put myself down, but I was probably a little bit over, like a little bit more than regular, right? So I was just a regular everyday person plus 1. Plus 2, you know? And now I'm extraordinary, right? Like, which many people are. But look how many people utilize herbs, you know? Got people all over California who use the herbs and who are very, very smart, caring, compassionate people. Got so many people in British Columbia, Canada, in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, all the provinces in Canada. Quebec. Quebec has always been okay with cannabis, you know? So is BC. We have a lot to learn. And California. And Maine. And Oregon. Because the elders there are OGs, you know, they are ancient growers, you know, ancient as in, you know, 70 years ago they planted their first bean. That's ancient. like the most ancient people we have now are, 80, 85, still, maybe 90, and you're still talking, you're still able to, wake up and make breakfast and go outside and water your plants, clone them, veg them, flower them. These are the most ancient people we have. They're not famous. None of them are getting millions of hits per video. And I'm not saying you have to be old to be wise. I'm just saying they did it first. These are the ones that we came before. Like, without them planting the seed then, it wouldn't be as prevalent here now. Facts. But if you don't understand, you don't understand, The reason that, there's sayings, that, there's sayings like stuff travels safer than money, or family and friends, and, things like that. I'm not going to say what stuff, but you can figure out, So, do you want to know how it's carried on? Because there are people who recognize the benefits, the beneficial nature of this nature. So they did something, even though it could result in something pretty horrible happening. Hit that like button, Rashad. How you doing, homie? Hope you're having a good day. And you have to talk in code. If you don't understand, you don't even realize what we're up against. But we're up against a synthetic, anything but organic life form. And some of you may never understand that. What is the algorithm? The algorithm is AI, which controls... I'm not saying that there's not some goof at the very top that's running this algorithm and inputs the path that this algorithm follows, or its premise, or its boundaries, or its the rules of the game, right? You would think that those were imposed, but I think the AI was let loose, and the algorithm, it is alive, So if you don't believe me, then you don't understand programming, which is simply, those little pets that you could digitally feed. This is a pet. YouTube is a pet. Google is a pet that is digitally fed information from us with our little avatar under it, in it, around it. It is us. Digitally feeding to this little bunny or this little dinosaur. Most of you may never understand this. And that is the system that's been in place for far too long now. I had to dabble here, and I wanted to do it without, really saying what I actually do. And that was a big mistake of mine, was to say, but at the same time, it proved to me finally once and for all exactly what I already knew, but I had to confirm. And my confirmation came in the form of understanding the AI, guessing the next move, not only for this channel or the channels that I've created, and guaranteeing the outcome weeks, months before it happened. So I waited and I checked every way to see if anything would go. Nothing went until these things were said aloud, typed, and digitally locked in. And now the AI is more understanding of the game it plays with my avatar, feeding it information and what I tell it and when, right? So, there are people who are going to always be spied on. And those people are ones that the AI doesn't and can't input enough information to give it a question mark on top of the avatar to make the question mark go away. Meaning, I don't understand this person. So they got people to data collect the most evil people, private investigators. It could be an off-duty cop or an on-duty cop that somehow the AI found something that they can they want to collect data, so they'll use police, right? They'll use Secret Service. The AI is everything around you. The AI controls everything around you. They own the stock markets. If you don't understand this, the beginning of the end is already in your midst because of the fact of your lack of preparation for what is coming. 9 years from today, this video will be solid gold. Solid gold. I've seen things happen since 1999 till now that I can't believe. Not even so much the advancements, it's the lack of advancement and the lack of human gain, of knowledge gained worldwide to human nature. I've seen humans dumb down 220% dumber than they were in 1999, and they were fucking stupid in 1999. When I was 19, a lot of adults were like, yeah, go Jets, go! It's like all they do is just drink beer and Jets. And I'm like, dude, Winnipeg is crumbling. Nobody cares, Nobody cares, There's a guy in Winnipeg, Mr. Lavoie. I only read your name. I don't know how it's pronounced. He's trying to raise money for the legalization for people to be able to grow cannabis in Manitoba. And he's raised 15 or 18,000 of the 45,000 needed to fight this in court. Oh my goodness, I want to try and link up with this guy, have a conversation. He's doing the right thing. Young gentleman doing the right thing, any way that I can support this gentleman that I read about this morning at 6 a.m., I'm going to help him. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I want y'all to fall in love with this guy, because this guy's message can be transitioned to your state, to your province, to your city, to your country. So he's gotten CEOs to write letters to the Manitoba provincial courts to say, hey, I'm a cannabis user in British Columbia, Canada. I run this and such firm, and I use cannabis at some point through the day. I can tell you firsthand that having cannabis grown in a person's home will help alleviate the black market's ability to profit and gain off of those in Winnipeg. And, it's almost like, I don't know, I can't figure out the reasoning behind it, but I want to help. I love Manitoba. I'm not here to discredit the judicial system. They know it sucks. It's time for it to get revamped. I don't want to change completely. They have a couple laws that are archaic and they hurt the people of Manitoba more than they help keep the people of Manitoba safe. So the first thing we have to do is explain that rationally, civilly, and peacefully, And, on the 50th time, on the 50th try in court, the 50th person, if they don't hear us clearly, then we all just get up and break the law. I'm not saying to do it now. I'm saying the 50th time we try and they deny us human rights, then all of us at once go and we all begin to grow whatever plant limit that is in another province that's legal. Every other province can grow in Canada, except for Manitoba. You into stock exchanges? No, I'm not. I don't see the one thing I could say something, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to influence anybody. But and if everybody got off the stock markets, the corporations wouldn't be able to enslave you. See, they squeeze out companies all the time. So the regular person who starts up a business and then it gets a really smart business where people are really getting help, cheaper Kleenex, cheaper toilet paper, environmentally friendly light bulbs, things like that. They scoop up the business through volatile stock, extremely disgusting, despicable tactics. Though I've said this before regarding a couple cannabis companies, how they overtake these cannabis companies. About 8 months ago, I said they'll try and discredit them Some of them maybe are bad, but the whole thing was known about from the beginning, and the person who loses are all the shareholders at the time, because you're buying stocks at like $80 a share. Then if it finds out that Canopy has, you know, pesticides in their cannabis, their medical cannabis that's going out to medicinal users in Canada, all adults, that the government of Canada is selling, like they're part of these companies in some way, shape, or form. Health Canada gives the okay, right? So if it's got the Health Canada label on it, and then it ends up in the shelf here in Winnipeg for sale at a store here in Winnipeg, you're able to go in and buy it and pay taxes on it. And then you bring it home and then you get sick from it. And then they test the cannabis and they're like, holy shit, this has Malayathon and, you know, this has rate, whatever, name some weird stuff. I'm organic as fuck, so I don't know any weird stuff. They're like, holy, look at all this stuff on here. There's all kinds of heavy metals and whatever goof pesticides they're spraying these days. And then you're like, holy crap. So I've been sick this long because of that. And then, so what you do is then you sue, right? But then it goes into the paper, and the paper says, oh, this company is being sued by these people bought it here in Winnipeg and all got sick. There's a class action lawsuit. The stocks will tumble, right? Meanwhile, the company on purpose sprayed with pesticides, the heads that are going to buy the stock, with millionaires in the back office, are going to buy the stocks cheap because they know firsthand, and they're ready. They sit there with their fat guts and they just sit there on their laptops and they just push a button and they steal an entire livelihood from 500 people in the company because they're all uprooted. It's like, oh, this company can't even do business in this province anymore. They had to move out to east. So all the people in that province just got shafted. Meanwhile, they gave provincial tax cuts to bring in new cannabis companies into that province, right? And it's like, oh, sorry, our hands are tied, our business is folding. They knew full well, damn well, the whole time, cheaper labor laws, cheaper minimum wage labor in Nova Scotia, East Coast, they went there from the get-go. They wanted to go there, but they got tax cuts here in this province from my tax dollars, went to ensure that this business could make money and succeed, but pay less taxes, right? So we have to cover the other side of the bill for that then. Somebody's got to make that coffer fill back up to 10 million. Got the same amount of road repairs and everything else as last year, if not more. So they screw you. So these stock companies, like the stock exchange itself is a devil. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to get a fucking billboard. I'm going in the living room, and once a week, twice a week, 10 times a week, I'm going to explain on short live streams, on short uploads, why the fuck you want to stay away from the stock market and ban and you know how they shadow ban people, they blacklist is another term I was going to use. I don't like these terms. All these terms refer to, like, it's actually what they do to a race of people for hundreds of years. If you are this race, it's natural that this is applied to you. And if you don't understand that, go live life. And then you come back and tell me who had it easier, a white guy or a black guy. You go live your life. And come back at the end of it, damn near, and you tell me who had it easier. That's why the term blacklisted, black sheep. I'm not racist, by the way. I'm pointing out facts. Yeah, thanks. Great message. I heard everyone doing stocks. Yeah, no, that's not true, bro. But don't put that in there, because we don't want people, to read into that and be like, oh yeah, I heard everyone. Is as soon as you read something, people's heads, it sends a message. Some people are so fucking simple. They read the dumbest person's stuff and they follow it. And this is how we have a system full of just idiots everywhere, is because of simplicity of how. Isn't it easier just to follow somebody else's idea than it is to think of your own? Really, honestly, isn't it? Isn't it time consuming when you have something, let's say something wrong in your backyard, and only you know about it, and you're thinking, and it's like something to do with water. You have to figure out how to get the water from fucking here, over there, rocks here, stuff's there, you got to plant stuff here, and you got to do all this. You have to think of it. Nobody can just, if somebody tells you, oh, put that there and do these there and then just drain that there. Wasn't it easier? But if you have to live your life and if you have to think of every idea, it's harder. So people are fucking quick to give their life to someone else. This is why you fucking some goof named Tony fucking Goblins is so rich. Tony Goblins is so rich. I bet you that guy can't even fucking plant a garden. $100 million. Tony Goblins can't plant a fucking tomato plant. Like, I've had it with the lack of respect for people in your mind that people have. So I'm good. Like, I'm happy. This wasn't to be like, I'm just trying to explain to people that you have to wake up. Instead of following, you have to lead by example. And I know it's hard. Trust me. It took me 41 years I haven't been following people. I'm a little bit different, but I never had anybody really that, I followed people. Look, I definitely followed in people's footsteps that I grew up with. Absolutely. Not every way though. I took the good shit that they were good at. Growing tomatoes like nobody, like bosses. Bosses of tomato plants. 18 feet in the air with like 15-pound soccer ball tomatoes. That's what I grew up with. So, hi, I'm back. Yeah, no, people really, I give a lot of respect to those who, who mothers. I give a lot of respect to mothers because, like, you're worried about yourself, and then all of a sudden, poof, now you got a kid, right? There's nothing wrong with kids, but I'm telling you, kids are absolutely a headache. They're awesome. They're the best thing in life, but it doesn't matter whose kid it is. Kids are a flippin' headache. And most people will never know that because you don't have kids. So you're like, oh, no, kids are... I'm like, shut up. Like, seriously, shut up. You have one kid and, you split them half the time or whatever it is. You split her half the time. It's still the same amount of headache because you still hear the problems that happened at the other person's house or, at school while they were in the other person's care or whatever it is. And it's just... I always think to myself, I'm like... If you think about how many people, like I grew up without a dad. Like I grew up with a single parent, like with one parent is what I was going to say. But my mom worked really hard, like really, really hard. And not a lot of people try as hard as my mom, I don't think. My mom never really, she did her best plus more, right? And I'm not going to get into why or anything, but I'm telling you, like, I've seen other people's households and livelihoods, and giving love is key. And having a stressful day and coming home and maybe having to cook and then clean, and then all you have left at the end of the week is $5 or $10, and you spend it on your kid to rent a Nintendo when he's, like 14 or 12 or 15 in 1993 or 95. That's pretty cool, so it's like my mom was a miner back in the day in Vegas there, and she went to work every day and she came home and all she had money for was a sandwich, like, and then she couldn't even pay her rent. Like, she was always going in arrears, you know what I mean? Like, just like a miner. And she had a good job. It's just I don't know if you call it a good job. Let's say she should have been paid a lot more, especially in the 90s. I don't know what's going on, but I can't actually say too much because of a lot of reasons. But so my mom's old. Like, my mom's 68, 69, 70 years old. I think she's 70 this year. I could be wrong. But my mom is, like, she's not old. Like, she's not old and rickety, but she's old. Like, mom's 70 years old. She went scuba diving a year ago. I don't know if she's going to go I'm sure she's going to go again, but I hope she does, but it's not like... nothing's really changed, ma'am. She still gets on the treadmill and stuff like that, and goes for walks at lunch and stuff like that. So she's active, right? She's not, like some 70-year-olds need a cane, or maybe they have to get pushed in a wheelchair or whatever it is. She's never had surgery. She's never had a knee replacement or a hip replacement, nothing like that. So, I wish I was able to do more for my mom right now. Like, that's one thing, but in a couple of years, I'm hoping to. I mean, I think I do okay for my mom when I see her, but, I could always do more. And it's frustrating because, like, the things that I could do more, like, she wants to go to Mexico, so I can't even, like, send her to Mexico on, like, points or whatever. Like, I got some different points things or whatever, and I'm sure I could apply it to some kind of thing. But I can't even do that. But hopefully, like, in 6 months I can. Or 8 months. Hopefully she can, maybe we can drive with her in Canada. Go for a trip in Canada or something. I don't know. Because she'd like that, actually. I know she'd like that. That would be a lot of fun. So hopefully maybe we could consider something like that at some point. You never know though, like, I'm sure stuff will straighten out sooner or later. But none of us are going to get the vaccine. Like, my family's not getting it. And you guys, anybody can do what they want, but the facts are, vaccines save lives, probably. So does a good immune system, right? A good immune system can save your life because that's what a vaccine is trying to replicate. It's actually trying to, it's trying to work on the same concept as your immune system, but fast track it, like give it a boost, like catalyst it. So it's trying to, like, fast track it. I think that's a fair statement. I'm not going to get a freaking virologist on the show or anything, but so the point is if you're trying to fast track something, I read that Google put out a statement, Pfizer released a statement saying 66% effectiveness, the Pfizer vaccine. Well, what the hell is it doing to the other, like, that's 1 in 3 people that it's not working on that get it. And then I read another stupid thing here, and I'm very disappointed with this. There are clinics, private was the key word in this phrase, private clinics are giving fast COVID test, like a fast result COVID test, so they can tell you in like 30 seconds if you have COVID or something like that. But you have to pay $450. I'm assuming plus tax. So let's call it $512, $520. I don't even know what the hell, 45. You're looking at $510, like, what is going on? How is this? So this is a private company worth millions and millions of dollars that the Manitoba government is allowed to set up shop and profit off of Manitobans at $500 a pop. And you want to know what this is for? Why that thing is there? No one on my block will be going to get that. That test is for elites. That test is for elites so they can still travel fast. So the laws are changing, and the laws are going to change to say if you don't have a COVID test with a negative result, then you're screwed. So these people are going to have to go from that clinic to the airport in 5 or 10 minutes. And then they can travel, So only the richest people in the world are going to be able to travel. You want to know another thing I read yesterday? They just imposed. Hey, how's it going, homie? Hit that like button. Share this video. I'm informing and teaching the public. You need to know. You have to pay $2,000 hotel bill. I read this 2 days ago, but this is law. This is the law. If you come back from a trip, you have to put $2,000 plus up front to quarantine yourself in a hotel here in Winnipeg for 14 days. So, plus, you need a test. I don't know if you need that. I guess you don't need that rapid test. I guess they'll give you a test at the beginning of the week when you quarantine to see if you got it. Or the test, you'll take a test when you enter the country, but you'll have to go quarantine. And then if that test comes back COVID positive, then you'll stay in your hotel room plus $2,000 more if you have to get rid of it. And then they'll test you again to see if it's gone. And then after your quarantine is done, 2 weeks or 3-4 week mandatory, whatever they assess you at, then you can go back home and start working again. It's gonna be crazy, but this is a true statement from one of the smartest scientists in the world, and he didn't even realize what he said. But this is, and he was mad. He was so mad when he said this because, this is fact. It is a lottery if you live the COVID virus because it affects everybody's genetic blood type differently. Fact. It is a lottery if you live or not based on your genetic blood type. And what that means is, let everybody do what they want then anyways, because if you're going to die, you're going to die. If this is fucking highly contagious, you're probably going to get it, and you're probably going to die. So what they should have done in the beginning was, since they know what blood types are the least affected by this, they should have only those workers working for the oldest and most at-risk people. So they know that they're not going to get this unless then the other part is carrier, right? But this is all, if you think they haven't figured this out by now, they just don't want to implement this. This is a fact because it is confusing and they're not that smart. But that's not the only reason. But I'll leave it there because I think you're smarter than that. So I hope you all have a great day. And remember that you are all beautiful people unless you're a corporate elite who is dumbed down the population purposefully. All right? Wish you all a great evening. Laurie Marty, come in here and you give the Hashman a big hug. My wife shaved me and she did a good job, but as you can see here, it's a nice clean shave. I do like it. A little patchy at the moment, but you know how it is. Hey, Razz, how you doing, Razz? What's your name? Razorian Buck. What does that name mean? I like it. It's different. It's unique. You're not copying, the last person's name. I like it. Congrats on your diversification from others, my friend. It all adds up, he says. All right. My friends, did you really think I was a fool? Did you really think I was a fool? We gotta get this long time coming. It's going to take a lot of good people to make a really big difference, though. Just like the other day on Reddit. We still don't know if that is a good thing or if that's the work of, 5 shadowy people to get ultra rich. So, we may not know the truth ever. Even the nicest and best platforms may be masking or hiding a sinister secret. Like the Wizard of Oz. Wasn't what you expected, was it? Behind the curtain. Behind the Iron Curtain. So funny, these terms they use. Oh, I had another term. Such an old term. What movie was I watching? Was it Thor? The Dark World. I didn't even know that movie existed. This is gonna be awesome. I get to go back and watch all the Thor movies from before whatever it was. Dude loses his hand in that movie. What is that called? When you give somebody a spoiler. A spoiler alert. That's what it's called. Shit, I should have spoiler alerted you, bud. The movie's from like 2014 or something. I don't know. It's a really good movie though. I'm not dissing it. I'm getting on that. I am getting on that. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. I am 97% done over here, so I'm gonna go get some pants on. Going to do some VR with the wife. Actually, we're dressing up a little bit. It's Friday night or Saturday night, maybe even Saturday today, and we're dressing up. I'm not dressing up. I'm dressing up fancy enough. I wear sweatpants for you guys. I'm wearing something nice for her. We're gonna go play some poker in the basement. Some strip poker. Strip poker takes too long. And she can never get my pants off. Did you really think I was a fool? What's that? Oh, I do miss this. Like, I was on some others for so long that, woo! Now I'm just stoked to, man. All right, I'm off. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Laurie Marty, if you watch this tomorrow or later on tonight, wishing you well. Hope you feel better this evening. I will have you on a show one day if you want. I would love to have you on a show so you could be on a live stream with me. We could just have a nice chat one Saturday morning, Sunday morning. Have your tea, have a nice smoothie with me. I love your garden there. A few years ago, you had probably the biggest garden I ever seen from California, but also the biggest I ever seen. Greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. You have by far the biggest greenhouse on the YouTubes, guaranteed. And that's not why. I'm just shouting you out here, having a nice conversation. It's I think you're amazing. Like, you have a great attitude. And make sure you do the same thing you've always done. Continue it because you're really good at it. You just inspired me to get it too. Okay. You inspired the Hashman to get it. They already have to fly like 25 feet higher than normal when they fly over my place. They're that big, man. Alright, I'm just gonna load this up here. So beautiful. Always with a nice hat on top. Man, there's a couple hairs in here. Just pluck them, nothing to worry about. Easy peasy. See one there. Get that. Did you really think I was a fool? Alright, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, Laurie, Hope you have a great evening. Second hugs. Nobody gets 2 hugs in a row from the hash, man. See y'all on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, eh? Done.